Hey everyone, this is Frater versus Retro, and we are playing Action 52, and this is Streamers, Streamer Z, Streamers, Streamers, and we're playing like Bionic Commando for a daycare center, and basically you're playing a little communist Trotskyist, and he's very very challenged character. See, like if he grabs money, it hurts him, and basically this game was made for daycare centers and Karens, and yeah, you can't touch anything or else it just kills you because it's teaching kids fear because a fearful population doesn't challenge you if you're a dictator. So basically, this was made by probably like the Republic of Tonga or something like that. That's probably what the history of this game is. And yeah, I just died. Just died because you can't have a populace that challenges the King of Tonga. Okay, so the King of Tonga personally went out of his way to make this game, you know, and I gotta say for reviewing like the Soviet Union and Germany during the war and stuff like that, I have to be very careful of my words I say because the algorithm is like you just said a bad thing and I assume the worst out of you because YouTube doesn't really pick streamers. They prefer to just have homegrown streamers. If you're just someone from the outside starting from the bottom, they see you as like scum. Vile criminal scum. So yeah, so you just keep doing this. It's like Bionic Commando for a daycare center. Because really that's the demands of like you can't grab the money because the little character's a communist, and so you're getting taught, yeah, you don't need money because it goes to the King of Tonga. Okay, so this is really blowing your mind, really, what I'm saying to you, but it's actually the truth. You just can't challenge the King of Tonga, guys. You just can't. Okay, so and I'm saying that because I know like the King of Tonga isn't gonna do anything about this. He's not gonna send his troops to the United States to shut me down for making fun of him. I'm sure he's like going, "Oh, I was really proud of that game." And a little bunny in a hat just killed me. Okay, I think that's enough Action 52. That's enough today. Because it drives me nuts. Okay, let's get on with it. Well, that game was kind of crappy, but well, I mean, well, I've made it to the studio. I didn't have Gregory Peck run up, so maybe that new medicine, the Dr. Quimby medicine woman, who is a guy, by the way. I know you're confused. Wait, what? No, it's just a surname. It's not like, a lifestyle or something. It's just, he's named Dr. Quimby, medicine woman. Yeah, it's just a surname, guys. I know what your problem is. But, basically, we just played Action 52 called Streamers, and that was a really bad game, Frater. Yeah. Hey, Guppy. Hello, Raider. We doing more E3 news? Yeah. How was your drive in today? That new car is really fun. Uh, are you still driving that electric driverless car that Peter Graves gave you? Yeah. I'm still paying a mortgage on it. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. It's really fun. The Dell computer keeps glitching. The car keeps going off the road. There's no steering wheel. There's no steering wheel. I don't know what to do. Frater, that's some crazy stuff. I don't know what to make of that. Oh no. Well, well, Peter Graves is coming in. This is the first show we've done. He's not changed the studio. He's not. Oh, hello. My name is Peter Graves, and this is Biography. Oh, he's back to normal. Yes, Dr. Quimby, a medicine woman, has greatly helped me. Helped me enough in my time of need. And this is Gregory Peck, and he is a former bitter movie star. Oh well, that's enough. You don't have to get into such dynamics there, Peter Graves. And it's over here is POO GUPPY Adams, who has bought a car with no steering wheel that claims to be self-driving and electric. I have no idea who he bought that from, but that is crazy. He has no memory, Gregory Peck, and maybe that will be best for the small claims court someday. Like, I just don't have any recollection of selling that car to him. I didn't do no such thing. I did not. I did not have any memory of that. Frater S.H. Did not. And how's Wilbur? I have no idea who you're talking about. So we are now talking about E3. And we are going to be covering the E3 coverage here on the Frater versus Retro. Wow. Oh, that was nice. Gregory Peck, I think we're back. Yeah. To be truthful, the past 5, 6 shows, we've not had a proper Power Glove Congress. We've just had crisis after crisis after crisis. We've had the ambulance now come to the studio now, like 5, 6 shows. Kind of nice now that it just, kind of packing in, just kind of get back to basics here. So yeah, we're dealing with E3, and we just kind of go over what we did from yesterday. We saw some clips of like Skyrim, and we've seen clips of Ninja Gaiden 3. We've seen clips of Modern Warfare 3. We've seen clips of Battlefield 3. We've seen from Nintendo, we've seen the Wii U. We've seen the 3DS, the footage of the 3DS. I mean, it has been very busy. We still got today and tomorrow. It's pretty epic stuff. So, Peter Graves, yeah, what's so I really must ask, how was your Action 52 playthrough? That's right. You remember, I will let you know you ruined our show, Gregory Peck. Hey, what do you mean you ruined it? Well, you don't understand. We see the folks at home. We had the purpose of having the first part of the show be towards a retro game to kind of keep the namesake of Frater versus Retro. We're really not covering retro really enough. We're not, like, what do you mean? Well, you challenged me for the show, so you had me play Action 52. Now, I honestly think you should have had me just play for 2 hours the entire, 50 games or whatever works. Just have me play the whole thing. No, you said no. Each episode has to be like one game per show. Are you nuts, Gregory Peck? Like now that's all the most of the first year of the show is going to be. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just an old man, just a bitter old man, and I sometimes say things that people don't understand, and I just like, yeah, yeah, I know you do that thing you do, but you were quite challenging for the show. And I think after I trained you and all that, you understand a little more about gaming. But you just really challenged it. You really challenging at first. But I proved you wrong. But well, you're not done yet. You're not done yet with Action 52. Well, I may not be, but you've ruined the show, and so if you took over, you would still have to make up for all that. I know, and I'll keep playing until there's nothing left. Okay. All right. So we'll get on with the E3 coverage. Okay, we are doing the E3 coverage, and starting for day two, and we seeing a trailer for Skyrim and a clip of Skyrim, Drake's Fortune there. The Uncharted games, I should say, and a little more Skyrim. They showing a guy fighting a dragon. Bioshock Infinity. It's mostly a trailer in the beginning here, so gotta kind of wait until it slows down a little bit because I don't want to be like, how I am. I hate trailers, so I hate when they're showing like trailers to 50 games all within like a 10-second period, and I'm like, sound like Max Headroom, trying to rattle all that off. And so, like, let's see here. Waiting for the intro here to end so that we can start um, okay, so Frater, should more exciting games here? Yeah. Just trying to get through this intro here. Okay. Right now I guess they're at the Nintendo booth. Let's see. See what's going on here. See, they got some broad here. You like to purposely be sexist just to piss off SJWs, don't you? Yeah, well, what it was is when I was younger, like, I used to be all SJW myself, and then I started, I think something happened where I got burned out, and I started to realize that it's actually more pleasurable to, like, troll the left. It's actually really funny. Like, I think it's really, like, seriously funny to troll them because they get so upset so easy. So yeah, I like to. And you got someone showing cleavage off, because that's what you do. You have a male audience, so you have to have the woman show the boobs off, like. Okay, so they're talking about Skyward Sword, a new Zelda game for the Nintendo Wii, and I would certainly hope it's not all well. It's probably going to be all motion control, so then it's absolute garbage. And I guess they're showing Link flying in the air on a bird, and yeah, I really hope it's not all like all motion control, because that's gonna just taint the whole experience. And like I trying to tell you, people just want a controller, and let's see here. One of the female presenters has no pants on. She just have a long skirt. Yeah, it's right. We're trying to watch the games, lady. We're not trying to watch you. And she's like, no, you're gonna watch me. Yeah, you're gonna watch me. Um, yeah. So yeah, but like I said, they've been wanting to go. They consistently go into a direction of motion controls and quick time events. So really, what you need is a true equalizer to just get people back to just normal gaming. So yeah, so at first, looking at this, yeah, it shows Sky Temple, and you got Link there, and no, 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 it's got motion controls where you got to swing your arm, and you got to get him to do, so I'm sure like people are gonna think, well, this is exciting. You could actually be the one swinging the sword, and it's like, guys, you're not gonna want to do that in some 50-hour game. You're not gonna just swing your arm the whole time. I mean, you're gonna have no option to actually want to just play with a controller. I mean, that's stupid. Graphics look okay, and they have Hulk Hogan. What? They have Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan, uh, pre, um, showing the game off. What? Whoa, brother, what are you gonna do when the Hulk runs wild on you? Yeah, I would assume. But the thing is it's like, and I hate to be like kind of like critical, but they're basically this is just a Twilight Princess and Ocarina with motion controls. And I know you're gonna say, what do you mean? Well, there's a lot of the stuff you did in the N64 and GameCube and versions of Zelda. It's the same elements that you all know, and it's just motion controls, and it's like that's the thing about this generation. It's like all motion controls, and it's not fun. It's really not fun. So and let's see. So Link is fighting a big skeleton, swinging around, and you gotta hit the right targets at the right time and stuff. And this is going to be coming out, by the way, around the same time at the end of the year is like Skyrim. Or what? No, Frater, why would I play this? It's a very controversial game. It's very controversial. Um, Zelda is a game you shouldn't have to do something like that with. Um, you shouldn't have to do something like that, but yeah, you shouldn't have to do something like that with Zelda. Like well, wait a second here. Just getting something out here. Just for some research purposes. Just. Oh, there we go. So now there's seems to be talking about Bioshock Infinite, and and now they got Hulk Hogan. What? It's not for a wrestling game, is it? No. It's just that they're showing off, showing off stuff. I think they got like World of Tanks display back there or something, and that's like a microtransaction game. I knew somebody who spent a lot of real world money on that, and that's stupid. So, oh, that's right. They're making a Hulk Hogan. Um, yep, they're making a Hulk Hogan video game with motion controls. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be bad. It's probably gonna be some real cheap third party kind of a game, and yeah, it's not gonna be fun. And the funny thing is, like, Hogan is like he's really selling it. Like it's kind of like almost like a Peter Molyneux. Oh no, not like Peter Molyneux. Yeah, it's like a Peter Molyneux kind of thing. Like he's like really selling it, and he's like, yeah, he's like, brother, yeah, it's like you can like pose and you can it's just like wrestling and now they're just showing off like cars and I don't care about cars, so I'm going to skip this and okay, so we're back and you got Miss Legs here. Miss Legs. So um so I'm trying to figure out what to see here they're talking about. They are. Oh, it's some limited edition thing for Bioshock Infinite, like a toy gun. What do I use the toy gun for? Well, what it is, did you ever watch the movie THX? Um, Made by George Lucas. It was his first movie. Yeah, yeah, I showing that one. Yeah, and so what it is there's a scene where basically what it is an apocalyptic cult where they're just showing footage of the game where you're actually using this sky weapon or something like that, showing the weapon systems and stuff like that. And but basically what I say about THX is they basically said about how that people would basically what they would do is work almost day and night, and they would they had no reason really to work because they were in like this utopia, this very dystopian kind of communist kind of world. But what it is they they all their money went to useless stuff because basically they already had an apartment, they already had a place to sleep and eat, and so but they were like being they were in like a surveillance state the whole time, and so then they just bought useless garbage they just used to buy useless garbage um just plastic blocks. And really our society is basically like that. It's just buying plastic blocks. And yeah, that's basically it. And let's see, they got a booth babe here. Yeah, he's so rough on the women. Well, it's true. They are booth babes. I used to go to those comic book conventions, man, and it was like people's girlfriends would just be the booth babes and stuff just to show off their products. Now here's Skyrim, Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim, and we will be playing at the end of the year. Now they show the different dungeons. They show off a guy fighting trolls and dragons, and then they showed Uncharted 3, which I've never really gotten into those games. They're very linear. Mass Effect 3. Another game where I don't know, I'm not really dedicated to. And then new Assassin's Creed game, Assassin's Creed Revelations. Which continues the storyline of the past games, and Battlefield 3, which I flat out told you we're not going to be capable of playing it. I don't understand. Okay, then okay, never mind. They're going back to just playing like a collages stuff, and I can't actually physically report on it. Oh, why? It's because it's just autism. Oh, I see. And now they got Miss Tits here. They got tits on the floor. They got tits on the floor. um, because like men are going, oh, oh man, and I'm sure they won't even remember what she's reporting about. Okay, so and oh, it's DC Universe Online. Nobody plays that, and now they're just advertising a car. It's not the Ford Cobalt. No, Pugapi Adams, the kobold is a furry animal that attacks villagers. Oh, yeah, and now there's this more. Jesus Christ, there's a load of TNA in this E3 presentation. There's just. It's because by this point of time, because of the internet, Frater, there is so much porn addiction now that what it is they kind of have to kind of give psychologically give these poor kids that have gotten sick, and they have to give them a fix. It's sort of like they know that they're here for the news about the games, but by being here watching the games, Frater, they are incapable of relieving themselves. Yeah, they're incapable of relieving themselves. Okay, so now they're interviewing Todd Howard, who is a very truthful guy. Very truthful guy. I'm sure everything he's predicted will ever come true. We know from talking to Peter Molyneux. So yeah, so he's talking about running on the 360. We have brand new engine, brand new graphics, brand new engine. Let's see. Yeah. Wow, that's beautiful. Forest land is so beautiful. Yep, and we'll take your word at it, Todd. I wonder what could go wrong with that. Or Frater, what? And let's see here. I'm sure it's not the same graphics engine from Oblivion, just patched up. Patch it up. Gotta patch that up. Let's see here. It's all procedurally generated. They don't kind of. Well, that's kind of a lie right there. They say that they actually physically draw and create every like tree and everything. It's actually procedurally generated. Well, how do you know? I know. I have my connections. I don't question those connections. So, so let's see. After Fallout 3, we jumped on this and we wanted to make you know sort of new AI systems we do with the new AI is called Radiant Story, which makes the game dynamic for you. For what we're showing here is you can swing your right trigger does and your right hand left trigger does in the left hand, and you hotkey items. You're putting a healing spell in the left hand. So you want to play like a battle mage, just you do it. Have to like some go to the beginning, either hand, so the right trigger, what the left trigger, what? You're making me confused. Uh, Powerful version of that spell. New. These are called the guardian. Okay. So basically, there's these stones to pick up your beginning um, bonuses to your skills and stuff. It's a more streamlined way of doing some things, than we did in Bolivian. And now you got some wolves. The first was a brown wolf and a bunch of black wolves. And let's see here. Let's see here. Talk about the thousands of objects, elven helmets, the food you put off creatures, pork meat, salmon. You can cook the things. You can regain your health. Just a level of detail that we go to. It astounds even me that we're teaching kids if you cook your salmon, it will on be better for you. Yes, this is the skills menu. So that you look at you have custom constellations for all the skills you can pick. You know, you can build up those skills, like, you know, like from blocking to speech to. And then I was showing off the map, of Skyrim, and you know, dealing with one of the towns you go through, which is called Riverwood. Oh, that's interesting. And then now they're let's see, you're actually showing the character going up to a blacksmith to talk to. Looks like you can even have him teach you how to blacksmith. That's pretty cool. You know, you can pick up jobs too. I think blacksmithing, smithing is a skill. Improve your weapons. Have a working economy. You can actually sabotage this wood mill if you want. So if let's see, you know, they have horses. Doesn't have any armor right now. It doesn't. And that's a joke. Let's see. Horse, you know, gets you through the environment quicker. You know, the enemies sort of level with you, and then very high levels dealt with are done differently each time. Works very much like Fallout 3, and that these are harder areas. These are easier areas if you do randomize it a bit in the level. You're going to see the biggest mountain in Skyrim in the world, and at the top of live the Greybeards. They're the masters of the voice, and they're the powers you learn, and this is one of our dungeons. Bleak Falls Burrow. This one is over 150 dungeons in the game. And here is the ancient Nords used to worship dragons, and they're long lost at the Elder Scrolls. But as you see back in the game, that these dungeons are hand drawn. They are handcrafted, and the whole world is handcrafted. You put 150 handcrafted judges in. We spent a long time going to see a dungeon, see it scripted. So they're great to know they came out of the way they thought they would. Very conservative initially in our design. Now that we have used them everywhere, just let them free roam and let them cause havoc. Well, I gotta say, okay. So yeah, the pretty good preview of the game. Yeah, it's very exciting, Frater. I mean, we could have an amazing marathon doing that. Oh yeah, I predict that we will be spending a great deal of time, far more than any game we've ever played ever. So now I guess they're gonna talk about BioShock Infinite or something. Yeah. They're not even really talking about anything. They're just talking about social media right now. They just that like literally that Skyrim thing is probably the best thing about this whole E3 thing. But oh, hey, boobs! What the hell? Frater is just tits all over the screen. What the hell, man? Like, am I supposed to take this seriously? Yeah, yeah. If anyone who has a pornography addiction, don't look at the screen right now. Frater, the screen's all sticky now. I can't do anything about this. It's just sticky. It's really sticky, man. But what? They're talking about boof babes? No. Oh, I'm skipping this. And then they're showing some clips from Skyrim again, so like inside of a dungeon. Um, I can't believe they had a thing on just boof babes. Oh my god. Okay, so let's see. Lighten certain areas of kind of through the dungeon at times. So that's a navigational cue. Follow these. Well, sometimes it because it doesn't get complicated. Let's see. Right now they're just displaying the dungeons right now. Like character has like a war axe and he's going in, exploring the dungeon, and dungeon really looks good. Good lighting and stuff. I assume this is probably mostly the PC version. 360 version will probably be a little bit on the janky side, being it's an older console. Yeah, that's the only downside. Probably due for a new console at some point. Yeah, to keep up with. And as the dealings with some kind of leech bitch, leech, Lich. I remember those things from like um, what game is it? Ultima Online. There used to be leeches. Okay. Oh, and they're showing more of the dungeons. They get complicated sometimes. And it's just like different spells to help you out, like a clairvoyance spell to help you know where to go and stuff. I highly doubt I would use something like that. Let's see. Basically, the game's kind of infinite. It's full of like different quests and open grassland, the middle of Skyrim. There's a giant on the screen right now herding some woolly mammoths. They look like Snuggle Wumpapush. They do look like the Snuggle Wumpapush. And let's see, these are pre-programmed path. Roaming inside. Some of them are random. Some of them are set to, let's see, wonder. Let's see. Did that guy just attack the Snuggle Wumpapush? That's pretty bad, Frater. That's pretty nasty. It is pretty nasty, actually. And then let's see, and then they just showed a dragon grab the giant. That's something else. And yeah, you got a dragon flying in. It's like that George Lucas movie, Dragon Slayer. Even acts just like that kind of dragon. And that's really cool. And even how it lands and walks towards you. Oh yeah, that's some nostalgia. I remember that movie. Those dragons were really good looking. And then let's see here. You absorb the soul of the dragon. When you defeat the dragon, then that's going to allow me to unlock other shouts. And here comes another one. So they have multiple dragons at once. They can appear to pack sometimes, as well as a frost giant dragon just arrived. Much tougher dragon. Let's see. And now it's showing him on top of a tower battling a ice dragon, shooting ice at him. And he right now he's using like a spell that shoots like lightning at the dragon and stuff like that. And November the 11th, 11, 11, 11. That's the day the game comes out. Wow, that's. Are we gonna actually go and wait in line for the launch of that game? We are in fact going to do that. Yes. I usually don't do that, but for this I will. This looks like the game that really defines me. So we will plan to do that, folks. We will be doing a special presentation at GameStop on the eve of November 11th. See you then. So Okay, so as far as now in the show, we are about at the half hour mark here of our E3 presentation for day two. And let's see here. You got the Boof Babe here, and you got the other guy. I have no who he is. And now they're talking about the PlayStation Vita. You know, the PlayStation Vita is a neat little piece of technology. Seems like they're more talking about the whole cell thing because I think they made a mistake. They connect cell phone Wi-Fi to it, so you're hooked to the internet, probably so you can play against other people. But still, it's like, but then you're like paying like $200 and like the phone. I mean, phone paying for phones a month could be pretty pricey, you know. Yeah, I mean, talking about 3DS. That thing I still wonder about, Frater. Like, would you get kind of sick? You know, they're playing some kind of like Mario Kart ripoff on the Vita. You know, and the problem I have with Sony is I feel like their first party games are weak. You know, they don't have Twisted Metal anymore. They don't. That was like my favorite one. But the first party characters they have, it's just I feel like they just never were a first party people. They, you know, the games that keep them in business is all the third party stuff, and that's gonna have a real effect on the future. I mean, you may have a period where majority of your top games are actually third party, not first party games. Exactly. And so now they're showing like some kind of fighting game. I'm not sure if that's like Street Fighter or some future Street Fighter or whatever. I don't know. She got Street Fighter 4, and I'm not a fan of that. I'm a fan of the original Street Fighter 2. So they showed the menu system for that. Apparently it's got touch screen. So you're starting to get into the touch screen technology you would see in smartphones. They're trying to compete against smartphones. Sony's trying to compete against smartphones, and the thing that it seems to be a theme with Sony is they go out big with this technology, but then they go out big, but then now they're showing Marvel stuff off, but it looks like a cartoon. It's not a video game. So they go out big with this technology, but then if it doesn't sell to what they want, they start cutting back big time. Like the PS3 was a okay. Now they're showing the Wii U, and like I said, I was saying before, I'll just pause this for a bit. That basically they have a tendency to go out too big on their technology, and then they usually have to make like a second version of a console or handheld or whatever that cuts back on the more pricier technology that isn't really selling. So, like in the case of the PS3 really wasn't very successful compared to the PS2. It was kind of a failure until they started to come out with cheaper versions. That's when most of us start to pay attention to them. And even I, especially when I was having problems with the 360 Gregory Pack, that's when I finally bought, a PS3 and I stuck with it. So the Wii U tablet here, they're showing the Wii U, and they're showing our Boof Babe, showing that off, showing the boobs, So you never see a boof babe that has no boobs. Yet you would never get work. They would be kind of looking at you like, no, you put some tennis balls in your shirt. I am sorry, but that's the kind of thing these guys do. They purposely no. Now this is just a cartoon. I'm gonna fast forward it because I'm not gonna report on a. Now they're showing Ken Levine and now they're showing the Vita. I hope this is not one of those trailers where there's like a million things happening at once and I can't even report it. Okay, so showing prices 249 for Wi-Fi only, $249 for a mobile a handheld console. I mean not a handheld console, but a portable handheld is that's going to probably make this thing not work well. I think the Vita is going to be a failure because of the price. Oh wow, that's a strong prediction. Yeah, it's. I know it hasn't even come out, and I predicted it's going to be a failure, and it's because or it's going to do okay, but it won't be good enough for Sony. See, that's the problem. If this was a smaller company, um, if it was a smaller company, it wouldn't be a big deal. But I'm moving forward a little bit because then they have to start covering what people are saying on Twitter, and come on, I'm not reporting on that. So let's see so they talk about the Wii U system and they're not really talking about anything. Okay, so they're talking about a game called The Darkness 2, which I. The Darkness was originally some image comic from the 90s, made by Mark Silvestri, who did like Wolverine and stuff. I don't really care. Mainly it's because it's a Venom ripoff. Frater, what was wrong with the 90s? The 90s was really pretty bad as far as comic books. Uh, the 90s was really, really bad for comic books because generally the creativity was, like, for example, they would take stuff like the alien symbiote costume that Spider Man had and they would just rip that off entirely until it basically was unprofitable. So like for example, you had Venom. Okay, we have a villain now that has the costume. Great, we got a new villain. Isn't that great? Oh yeah, well now, well they're like, well, what do we do? He's getting too popular. We got to turn him into a baby face. We got to have him turn into a hero. But we still need a villain. Okay, well, what's color is Venom's costume? Well, it's black. Well, how about we make another villain and he has an alien symbol too, and his costume's red and he looks like the alien. Well, that's great. We can just do that because I have no idea what kind of comics we're going to write now. And that's basically 90s comics. 90s comics is it was gun pouches, big guns, and it was just it wasn't really all that great. And the early 90s, like the real early 90s, it was just a sort of a rinse and repeat of like the 70s and 80s. And Marvel really didn't know they were going to what they were going to do for what the heck what they were going to do for the rest of the 90s. So okay, so now you did the whole red Venom. So now what are you going to do now? How about we clone Spider-Man? How about we have a million Spider-Man? And it's like, what? Yeah. Yeah, how about a million Spider-Man all over the place? How's that sound? That sounds terrible. I know, but that's all I can think of. And then over at DC, they went, well, how about we break Batman's back and we give a new guy a new 90s costume and he could be a new age Batman. And they're like, yeah, let's do that. And then with Superman, they're like, hey, let's kill Superman. Let's lie to everyone, and then we'll bring him back with long hair. Frater, this is terrible. This is what you grew up with. This is what I grew up with. The only thing that was worthwhile about 90s comics is that very early, because of the speculator boom, it got me into the desire to collect comic books from like the 40s and 50s, which was full of good writing. Because you had comic book writers actually. You're not even talking about the game on the screen because it's a Venom ripoff. I'm not reporting about a Venom ripoff game. I just reported on Skyrim, and Skyrim or Call of Duty and stuff. That's the stuff people want, and if there's an RPG, I'll report on that too. But this is just Venom the video game. This is absolute garbage, and people aren't going to probably really like this that much. I mean, it might do okay, but it looks a little stupid. But so then that's it. There's a Masonic handshake, and then you're always ripping on people. And then we're back to the booth, babe, and yeah. So that was a nice little conversation about comic books and real facts of life about it. Is that basically it taught me, at least in the speculator boom, and now we got Booth Babe promoting cars. I don't even know who she is. I don't think we're supposed to know who she is. She's just promoting cars because you want to grow up someday, and you want to have a hot girlfriend, and you want to have a hot car. You know, these are certain truths about our society. It's freaking capitalism. We gotta have the booth babe, and you do have a booth babe, right? And you're doing with Uncharted 3, and I think I played one once, and I was like, really? I feel like I'm being forced to play a movie, and I just want to do my own thing, and that's the only problem. That's the only problem with this kind of game show. You're talking to someone who it doesn't really conform well to being told, oh yeah, by the way, you need to play this because that's the top game for that company, and I'm like, yeah, but it's not what I want. And that's the problem. When you work for someone, yeah, they'll say, no, you got to do this, you got to do that, because that's what you're being paid. True, that is true, but you know, you just let go there. You exploded. So yeah, so to get back to what I was saying is they're just describing this Uncharted 3. They're blowing up some warehouse, and like there's water flowing everywhere, and I just don't care. And it's like now he's swimming and stuff, and and maybe Eco the dolphin will help him out. Eco the dolphin, help him out, and I didn't like Eco the dolphin. That's the thing, is like, never have me play a game where it's like, I don't know. I'm kind of weird about certain kinds of games and stuff. Okay, so they're just talking about the Uncharted 3 and don't really care that much about it. The guy's just talking about making a paycheck from it. You could tell he doesn't care either. Yeah, he's just like, yeah, I made that game. I got a paycheck from it. It's all that matters. Yeah, it's all that matters. Oh, showing swimming underwater. Of course, it's mostly scripted scenes. That, like, it's not like you have a choice at it. It's all linear. But some people like that. Some people really like that. They don't even think about that, really, to be honest with you. And now you got the classic scene of just water rushing towards the hero, and you got to run out of there and whatever, and uh, you know, yeah, it's just typical, typical. Yeah, exactly. Oh god. Okay, I gotta skip this. It's more social media stuff. Like, oh, what are they saying on the social media? It's like, dude, stop. Skipping ahead a little bit because they keep talking about Uncharted 3. You know, that like there's a multiplayer section. Frater, it's supposed to be single player. I know, but they have to do the multiplayer thing. See, the reality is you know the the microtransaction thing in the background is the thing that's gonna like just destroy the game industry. It's eventually that you can actually put, instead of just expecting the player to just actually work at trying to make you know trying to fulfill, trying to gain things from grinding and stuff. And instead, you're gonna have, the player, actually open up their wallet and buy all those things. And I will flat out tell you that it will work because that's how simple people are. They're very simple. They'll do that. I mean, if you make a microtransaction store for all these items, they will purchase the stuff, and the company can make like $1 billion from it. Let's see. I mean, Masonic. That was a good one. That was a good one. What happened, Frater? That was a Masonic handshake. Oh, that was a good one. The two guys there, the two bald-headed guys in the suits. Yeah, they did a Masonic handshake. The one like even there's a Masonic handshake where um basically you take your thumb as your handshaking. Yeah, I see. See, I'm showing you with your hand and mine. See how I'm gripping with my thumb around your knuckle? Oh yeah, that's really weird, Frater. Yeah. Wait, you holding hands for? It's really gay. Yeah, yeah, it's really gay, Frater. Well, that's what they do. It's like the freaking Freemasons and stuff. They do the Masonic handshakes. And now they're showing car chases. It's probably like a Need for Speed or Driver. I can't keep track of that stuff. It's not my thing. I've never bought one of those games, so you know, well, we kind of have to like, cover it. It kind of gives us something to do for an hour. Yeah, it's funny. I was kind of thinking, well, we're gonna do like a 10 hours, and then the more I think about it, I thought of your complaint, that these shows are running. It's Need for Speed. Who cares about that? So like these shows are going way too long. Frater, I'm worried you're gonna get burned out. Or never. Like I'll show up here for next week and there'll be no show. Well, lately I've been trying to actually quit the show. Actually, why, Frater? You can't just say that. Well, I have been, but every time I end up coming to the studio to do a show, I don't know what it is. Like it's like some force of nature is like drawing me in. And Frater, there's no such thing. It's because you're the host of the show. We do these shows every week, and we're doing it more and more. See, like you're here. It means you like to be the host. It's you don't have a call in this situation. And I gotta skip this scene. It's just a game show. Okay, okay. You know what I mean? Now they're talking about Halo. But the game, yeah, but the host did actually do like a Masonic handshake. I know, Frater. Like I'm calling it out. Like, I mean, at least say in the interview, like, hey man, like, what lodge are you about? You know, like, oh yeah, I'm a part of Lodge 531, and they never do that because they're not supposed to admit to each other that they're outside of the lodge, that they're part of the Masonic lodge, and it's so stupid. I mean, it's not like there was a time, yes, it was illegal to be part of the Freemasons, but it's now a normal part of American life. I mean, there are people who are Masons, and good and very bad people, that use that to gain advantages and to co-opt the system. And well, okay, what's the name play around? It's really bad. Okay, but now we got Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary. Okay, so now they got like a remake of classic Halo, the first game, because I guess because it was old, it was kind of beat up, so they're graphically cleaning it up and make it look fairly controversial decision to drop the Halo multiplayer. What? They dropped the Halo multiplayer? Okay. Well, that's gonna be a failure. Yeah, yeah, without the multiplayer, but I'm sure there's multiplayer. I mean, they usually can sometimes add something in later. So, yeah. So, yeah, just talking and just small chatting. Um, it's kind of funny when you have the captions on how many uhs isn't and when people talk they say they and ah a lot. This is telling the story of like 343 Industries. They're the people who took over after Bungie left to do uh, Destiny. And they're showing a clip from I think this is like Halo 4, and just sort of a cutscene. It's not going to be from the actual game, of course, but and that was from Halo 4. And well, we're almost done here. Show's almost done. Yeah, the show was a lot shorter today. I mean, it's at least an hour. At least it's not like 4 hours and stuff. I mean, it's kind of torture on the audience because then they have to go through and watch a 4 hour show. At least an hour. You know, but fiscal winter. I don't know what they're talking about. uh, it's funny. At least I have the captions on. At least I would understand. The captions. And now they're back to talk about the social media stuff. I have to skip around quite a bit. Now they're showing off the tablet at the different booths here. The Wii U tablet. Um, I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to make a Nintendo console to be more on par with the Nintendo DS. But let's see. Wii U was worth and they keep going back to this feedback thing, and it's I don't know. So I mean, if it's a console, Nintendo console, that has a little more power, at least then you could start to at least start to have some normal games, because the normal Nintendo Wii is very weak. It was actually the original Nintendo Wii was supposed to be um, meant to be an add-on to the GameCube, and then they decided the last second to turn it into its own console. Oh, now they're saying is that like if you're watching needs to watch some on TV, you can switch the game to the gamepad and then use it like a portable. Okay. Well, that's something, Frater. I mean, that's well. See, the problem is the question you have to ask yourself is, do you need to have something like that? I think what you want is to be able to take that tablet and actually leave the house with it and play the game. So you're still kind of tethered to to the system, you know what I mean? And I guess they're just still selling the full motion controls of the whole thing, like the tablet still has full motion controls, and of course, there's no way to get away from that right now until you would have to wait until basically they start losing sales and realize you can't do that. And of course, it's got Wi-Fi, so you can have a web browser. So and it's got motion tracker. I don't know why they just mentioned Colonial Marines. Like, I guess they think that'll. Wow, it's Alien Trader. I mean, that game's there's nothing that's gonna go wrong with that game. Well, just because you see a trailer for a game, don't take the word that's what the final product will look like. And the reason I'm telling you that now is because it'll help you later. Okay. He's from the future like me. It's like, okay, Poo Guppy. Frater, what? Frater, we're trying to do a um, uh, serious E3 report here. Just keep the make believe for like the Power Glove Congress. Okay. So okay. And now they're showing porn stars and and stuff for people who have porn addictions, like booth babes and stuff, like because it's a male-run industry, so that you need to have booth babes for them because they have porn addictions, severe porn addictions. And I can't even go into work because of the porn addictions. Yeah, they got a real bad porn addiction. They gotta take care of that. They gotta give them something. I guess if you think about it, if they were busy, you know what I mean by busy? Yeah. Masturbating. Yeah, so they wouldn't be able to change the channel. They would be watching this. At least they would know what games are coming out while they're masturbating. Oh boy. This is some kind of full motion game. I don't know what this is. It's like I said, there's gonna be a lot of this stuff. And oh, it's PlayStation Move. Yeah, see now, and basically what happened was is Sony decided to rip off the Nintendo Wii. Medieval Moves, Deadman's Quest. Never heard of it. So now they're ripping off the Nintendo Wii. Like, isn't that like patent infringements and stuff like that? Like, yeah, I mean, I guess they try to get away with it because they say, well, the controller looks different. Yeah. Oh boy. So you're Frater. I noticed you're like with the PlayStation Move. You're not really hyped about it. Is there something you know that I don't? Like, I'm just telling you that people don't want this. Like they don't mind playing with this at an arcade or something like that. But I'm just telling you, this is not gonna work out, dude. Yeah, that's probably true, Frater. But you never know. Uh, yeah. Okay. So I guess you're shooting arrows at bridges and you're blowing stuff up and fighting monsters and basically what it is they made this to compete against Zelda's full motion control game. I can't believe Nintendo even did a full motion Zelda game. Like I can't believe it. Like that's how bad things are. It's like I said about 2011. 2011 is like there's a good side and there's a bad side. And there is a bad side. Like it's this full motion stuff. It is just awful. There's so much of it. Like nobody's learned anything from the Nintendo Wii. Like, and I know that they're going we improved the technology. It's not about waddling a controller anymore. To do things. You can actually. Well, Frater, I think it's about time. Yeah. I think it's time to end the show. Like, we pretty much covered everything, man. Like, like that needs to be covered. There is a new sequel to Demon Souls called Dark Souls. There's a Mario London party game, new I don't know, Twisted Metal on PlayStation 3 coming out, Mass Effect 3. There's a new Rayman, there's a Prey 2, Starhawk game, and that's about it, folks. Goodbye.